We're here in the Highlands of Scotland, deep in the heart of Glencoe. Down there is the Lost Valley, the famous Lost Valley, and we're headed up to tag us some mountains. And on the way, we're going to have a wee chat, like we always do. But today I'm going to talk mainly about the life I thought I wanted. And it's maybe something you can relate to. As you look back, and you're like, what, I really wanted that. What was that about? And talking about and trying to figure out how we got to this point and how best to continue just on a natural progression to find out the true life I thought I wanted. And you may think you wanted too. I thought I heard voices there, but it was a bee. So we're going to get going. Now, if you've never seen my content before, you have to know it's all in one take. There are no cuts. It's just a natural, honest video. Just me and you enjoying each other's company. Now look, I just hiked up. Oh no, it is voices. But it doesn't matter. We're going to keep recording anyway, because that's just the way it is. Look at that. That's where I've came from, and that's where we're headed up through this gully here. I forgot my hiking poles today, so I've been using this stick, and I'm going to leave it here for me to get in a bit. But look at this. This is the final part of the climb. It's quite rough underfoot, as you can see. Oh, this is very, very dodgy. That's quite a drop should I go sliding down. But here we are. And we'll get to the subject at hand once I get to safe ground. As you can see, it's coming away. So I'm going to throw my hiking pole up. And there we are. I will place a wee stick here for now. Someone's placed a nice wee sunflower here. But as you can see, there is some epic views here at the almost top of Glencoe. Someone's also put a wee, look at that, a wee sun thing, and it says Happy Stones, Belgium. So if that was you, that's very nice. I'll leave it there. So we're going to head up here to mountain number 1. Now, the life I thought I wanted. Doing this for a living, being out here in Glencoe, making videos. I knew that's what I wanted. But there was so long in the wrong path. And I'm sure you can relate. When you, and I hope you don't mind me putting my hat on, because I don't want to have to put my sunglasses on. But when you think, oh, I've made these plans for this life and this is just it. And that's what I've always had a problem with. Just telling yourself, no, I've planned this out, so I have to keep going. And it's that problem with holding on to things to goals, I guess, that you thought were just essential, that you thought defined you. And I had such a rough 20s, and I really think it's a lot to do with setting so many goals. So I really think, the controversial statement alert, but I really think that setting long-term goals is like real in the distance, super long-term goals just can be devastating to your happiness. Because when you do, you're telling yourself you're not going to be happy until you achieve them. It's like signing a contract to not be happy, because you're delaying happiness. You're saying, okay, I'll be happy once I achieve that, once that happens, once I'm there. I thought that was just what you do, you set these goals and you just stick to them. Especially when you listen to the whole never quit nonsense. By the way, some of the worst advice, or one of the worst pieces of advice you can ever hear, is never quit. It's telling yourself to never quit. Telling yourself to never quit is saying that you're going to keep going on this path, even if it's wrong. And it can just suck the life and the fun out of everything. I leave you with what we're dealing with here. I have a few people who were up here even earlier than I was, and look like they're coming my way, so I will just have to keep filming. It's always something I've been pretty nervous about, is filming when people are around. I just feel kind of dumb, but that is what it is, man. I'm sure these guys who are into hiking watch YouTube videos. They know the script, they know what's going on. Setting these long-term goals as well it's a real way that it's guaranteeing that you're not living in the present. Because you're just thinking about, oh, when I get there. If I can give myself as an example, in my running, I am a runner. I've been a runner since about 2010, so it's about 6 years. And I never enjoyed it until a few years ago, because I always had my mind on the race in a year and the time I wanted to get to. I never took any joy in the now. And then that big race day would come and I'd be so anxious and just not having fun, and if I didn't get the run goal I wanted, I failed quite a few times trying to run a sub 3-hour marathon, and it just made everything feel like a waste of time. and I never ever enjoyed it. And I look back at those times and it's just tragic, you know, it's just a real shame. I feel sorry for old me. Look at the rocks are changing pink. There's a few mountains around here, like there's one up Scone a Fanich. Love to score a Fanich myself. That's probably not how you pronounce it, but it's one I went up. I want to live. At least to the famous mountain ridge called Annakegach. And that's full of pink stone.
These rocks contain naturally pink materials, crystals, and over millions of years of rain, frost, wind, etc. has worn away that surface to reveal this amazing pinkish hue. So when the light catches them, especially on an amazing clear day like this, the mountains just seem to glow and vibrate with this pink. And this whole area of Glencoe used to be a big super volcano. There were tons of volcanoes around here 500 million years ago.
I have no real plans for today. I rarely plan my adventures. I just kind of go and find it on the day, or like today I thought I'm going to go up the Lost Valley and take in some hills. I was initially going to just go up Biddy and Nambian, which is behind me there, but as soon as you see other peaks close, you always end up having to go take a wee look. And I'm up here early, so I've got plenty of time. Look at this boulder field, man. I need to concentrate here. You see me? Yeah, I think this is a figure your own way type situation. Ah, here we go. There we are. Again, if you've never seen my content, you'll see me move the camera a lot. Just the way it is. No cuts. I just want everything to be natural, you know. Just because it can't be natural if I'm setting the camera down, doing a walk, coming back to get it, etc. Oh. And I'll get back to my running talks in a sec. But here's an approach to the summit from here. And again, there's Biddy Nambian and that one. Can't remember the names of them. I don't even bother trying because my brain doesn't retain information like that. I only remember Biddy and Nambian because it sounds funny. And just look how gnarly this is. An absolute wreckage of a hill. And the running, back to the running. I just never enjoyed it, and I realised, what is this all about? This is something I do so much, but makes me so unhappy. So there's a race back in 2019, a marathon, and I said, for this one, I'm going to set no goals. I'm just going to enjoy the training block. No pace goals. No, you know, I'm just going to train to feel. A wee dog coming. And I'm just going to have myself some fun. I went in that race. I'm going to go in that race and I'm just gonna have fun. I'm going to run it slow. I'm going to enjoy the event and really take it in. I'm going to go over here to look at this wee ridge. Let these guys get past. Okay. The mountains currently, the views out that way are currently blocked by this. But let's go have a look.
This was an unbelievable day in Scotland, weather-wise. You could see so far in the distance. And it looks like you can see the entire planet from here. But you know what is unbelievable? It's actually not that far. Loch Etive here is actually maybe 15 kilometres away from where I'm standing right now. 15 kilometres, I mean, doesn't it just look like halfway across the earth? That always blows my mind, man. And down at Skyfall here, where they filmed for the James Bond movie, that's 4 or 5 kilometres from where I am right now. It just blows your mind when you think of the actual scale of this planet.
I went and ran that race and it was the best race I've ever had. It was slow. I ran like I used miles back then. I use kilometres now, but I ran like an 8:30 pace, which means it took 8 minutes 30 seconds to run a mile. I think that's what I done. I'll put it up. If I can find the race, I'll put it up. I'll put it up here, okay? Let me get out of the way and I'll put it up. I think I might have actually went slower than that, but yeah, it was a... But then who cares about pace? I mean, who's looking? That's the thing when you try and live to a certain speed. I find when I try to, it's like performing, because who cares what you're doing it for? Who cares what pace you go at? I went out there and I set a wee goal. I set a goal to not need to have any water or any gels. Just, maybe it's silly, aye, but I thought I'll take it as a wee test of my ability to hydrate properly beforehand and to stock up my energy beforehand, and it worked really well. And I had the run of my life, man. I just enjoyed it. I noticed things, because that's the thing, when you slow down, man, you notice things, as I'm doing now. And it doesn't mean, of course, that you can't have running goals, or you can't have goals in life, of course. I mean, I don't mean I cut them out, but I tried recently. I decided I was going to, alright, I'm going to make a plan for a certain time, for a certain pace. You know, going against what I'd said because I'm an idiot. And do you know what? I got upset and depressed and anxious immediately because I'm stupid. And I started resenting it and not wanting to train. And I thought, it was when I just ran the Edinburgh Marathon. I thought, okay, this time next year at the Edinburgh Marathon, I'm going to run it like an hour faster or something like that. And it's just stupid. And I said, all the races in between don't matter, but you know, it's just the exact same thing. The exact same stupid perspective to have. It's another scorcher here in Scotland. Set to be 26, 27 degrees. And if you're watching in America and don't know what that is, then stop using Fahrenheit, it's stupid. Celsius. But yeah, I abandoned that whole idea of again trying to fall back into stupid running. Stupid running goals, things that don't matter in the past, and it's just not living in the present. The life I thought I wanted was one I really didn't. Do you ever get that when you look back and think of things that you used to want? And I mean, I remember setting goals, like financial goals, and like by the age of 35 I will have 35 million pounds. Oh, stupid, man. Never happy with what I had. Never happy with exactly like I'm talking about goals, just derailing your happiness, man. It's just so clearly the source of such pain, having these big zesty goals. And you know when you get to a place where you think, oh yeah, that's what I wanted. That's not the, I mean, you get to a place that you thought you wanted, then you're only going to just level that up as well and be like, okay, now I'm there. Where does it end? When can I rest? Where I got to when I was like in my 30 compared to 20, I would have dreamed of it. Absolutely dreamed of it. I would have given anything to have it. But then I get to 30 and I'm depressed. Oh yeah, I've got this, but then, you know, it becomes normal. Now, all I wanted to do was this. Muck around doing this. Making videos. Adventuring. But instead I got sidetracked and pushed into the other directions that I thought I should. And it's even harder for young guys and girls these days because you have social media telling you you should have this unreal body which requires steroids. You should have this type of car, this kind of money. It's right there, right in front of them. Those who grew up with social media. And the social media I grew up with, MySpace and early Facebook, which I barely used, but it wasn't to try and show off, it was just to communicate with your friends, you know. And when you took pictures, they were for yourself, or maybe for your friends to see, but now everything's barraged, man. And believe it or not, you used to be able to get to the end of your Facebook feed. I don't have Facebook now. I never used social media after like 2009. It just sort of started going to shit, you know, until the Tartan Hiker started making short form, and which I also quickly got rid of. But And I found myself so much, you know, you just think, is this it? Yeah, I've worked hard for this, but now what? Is this it? There must be more than this. Because I thought I really wanted this. And now I have it. And I don't feel like I thought I would. And that's because it just becomes the norm. And that's because I found I was pushing it, you know, you're pushing yourself in that direction. And having these lofty goals and this endless things that you hang on to, I want this. It creates an unnatural version of you. Like all I wanted to do was this. But instead I thought I had to go and start businesses on the side and go down other routes. Like, I was a professional guitarist. That's what I'd done for most of the time, which I know isn't exactly working down the coal mines. It's pretty cool, some would say, but I started my businesses on the side. You know, I couldn't just be happy with that. So I really wanted to be a pro guitarist because I thought doing this for a living, there was no chance, but being a guitarist, oh, that's awesome. And it was for a bit. But then I realised I didn't want the lifestyle. And that's what happiness is, it's having the right lifestyle. That's what I found out. That's what I figured out only within the last few years. Happiness is not having to squeeze things in and like feel like you're on a tight schedule or something to do this, to do that. You know, it's when the natural rhythm of life is just involving the things you like doing. And when I figured out, when I was a guitarist, then I was very much in demand, and I was actually the most expensive for hire guitarist in Scotland. And I realised, and I got to that point of being so expensive because, by expensive, how much was it? So it was £100. So yeah, it was £300 an hour, I think it was. I can't remember, it's quite a while ago. I quit in 2016. But I was working like so much that I realised here I could just work less and charge more, or could try and find a life where I just work less and live on less, which is what I'd done initially. But then I thought, if I just make my prices such that, yeah, I get less inquiries, but I can make more money and have more time off to do this. That's exactly what I'd done. I ended up only working 3 days a week for years. Could have worked 5-6 days a week, made a fortune. But that's not my style, you know. And that's when I really started figuring it out that happiness is a lifestyle. So these billionaires and millionaires and rich people are so unhappy and have to do all sorts of wild things for their happiness and to feel alive, because it's endless. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of sycophants that enjoy that. I mean, you can't become a billionaire unless you're obsessed with Here we go on the peak. Oh, Christ. I'll let you enjoy this while I go to the peak. I do want to film the fellas that are there, okay? Enjoy.
Glencoe is so special to so many people, not just me, of course, because it's that moment when you're driving north, when you get by a place called the Green Welly Stop, which is like the last big shop to buy everything before you start getting into like lovely, wild, beautiful Scottish Highlands. And Glencoe is that. Glencoe and the pass of Glencoe, which is the road which passes through here. It's a road now, but it's always been used by humans because it's just where the geography tells you to go. But getting here it means amazing, beautiful, endless scenery for the rest of Scotland, and it's just a bit more rugged and breathtaking than Argar and Crianlarich.
There we go, the peak was enjoyed. And but I of course wouldn't annoy people by filming them. Doing that way is it's pretty not impassable, but there's a section to go all the way along to the end of that mountain. There's a climb, basically a literal climb you have to go down, and it's not something I'll be doing, I don't mind telling you. You know, a lot of what I was unhappy with was also this thought that I had to take so much risk in life. You know, I had to take everything to the extreme, and I really think it was it was what I thought I wanted. It was part of the life I thought I wanted. But I think it was really a trauma response. You know, I couldn't just get into running. I started off with ultramarathon running. This is back in 2010 when it wasn't as kind of huge as it is now, and everyone and their uncle has run an ultramarathon. I used to tell people that I ran ultras, and they would say, "What's that?" No one knew what it meant, but they all do now. But yeah, I would do it on events. There used to be like just a few guys have put something together, a few guys and girls I should say. There's a lot of women as part of the ultra marathon scene, and my favourite ultra athletes are women. One who inspired me massively at the beginning was a Glasgow girl called Debbie Martin Consani, and I thought I just had to go into the deep end. And of course I was nowhere near fit or strong enough, and I got injured constantly, and the races were nightmares. And I thought I read all the ultramarathon books, the Ultra Marathon Man, and I can't remember the name of them actually, it was a long time ago, but and I just thought I had to be like these athletes. So I would train like them even though I wasn't ready. I would eat like them and of course just get injured, and I'd get totally unhappy because I don't want to be out running 70 to 100 plus miles a week. And I would try and do it and I would get so upset because I felt like unfulfilled, like this isn't what I want, man. But I didn't know that it isn't what I wanted. And then I got an injury, a bad injury, which kept me out for a couple of years, and I downgraded to marathons, which is what I run currently, and I love it, man. I love it because you can really, like I say, you can run the marathon you want. And now I just enjoy them all. And yes, I plan them in advance because you have to book them like a year in advance or they sell out. And so I've got one every like 3-4 months for the next year. The next one's coming up soon in Perth, and then there's one in, the next one's in Madeira, somewhere I've always wanted to go. I'll do some hiking there too, make it a nice holiday. And then back to Edinburgh and we'll see what happens. Maybe Edinburgh actually, because I'm gonna go on a big cycle. I'm going to cycle the length of Britain. So I might not do the Edinburgh Marathon. But yay. They're just... Once I just calm down, man, and just, like I said, let life evolve naturally. To just go with the flow, man. Them hippies really have something going on, and with this go with the flow chat. Just think of it, if you see something you like, and maybe even if you're good at it, kind of naturally, or you learn, and then you just decide, oh, I'm going to go all in on this thing, and you spend years on it. If you like it, yeah, but if you're constantly like, oh, this is a grind, man, and you're forcing it, you're never quitting, then that's just so creating an unnatural path for your life. I think about that all the time. It's like, what if doing the things I do are keeping me away from the things I've really naturally meant to be doing? Because that's the thing, you only get a finite amount of time, and when you choose what you spend doing your time on, hobbies, job, whatever, and I know you can't just switch jobs as easily if you have responsibilities and whatever, but imagine and wonder what you would be doing if you never done those things. And that's what I've been thinking about a lot in the last few years, and it's how I've got to where I am now, and just trying to let things come in naturally. Because when it comes to what you want from life, you don't know what you want. You've never known what you wanted. You thought you did. That's what I say to myself. Perhaps you can relate. Probably can. That's why you're watching this video. Of some dude talking. Life, I found, is just about going through the little phases of trying things, of just not being too married to having to stick to it. Having to stick to something just because, you know, I want to see this through. If you don't like it, just quit. Find something else. I do that in the gym too. For years at the gym, there was certain exercises that I hated. I hated doing bicep curls. Hated a lot of things. Certain leg exercises, but you know, you've got to do them. But when I just said, you know what am I doing? No. I mean, yes, okay, it might hamper the ability to get the gains, the particular gains in the gym or whatever, because, you know, I don't like doing bicep work. So I just get my bicep work from pull-ups and chin-ups. And no one's watching. Do what you want. That's what's so freeing. Just, you know, releasing yourself. Now, what way did we go? There's down there, which was pretty loose, or here, which has bigger boulders, but it looks safer, so it looks like there's more to hold on to, so I think I'll go this way. Oh! Aye, I'll go this way. And these Munros are what you call, also mountains, should I say, are what you call Munros. And if you're not aware, that's what we in Scotland call mountains over 3,000 feet, which have a 500 foot drop on all four sides. Just a wee list. And there are 282 Munros. And they are something which, honestly, I've never been that interested in trying to get them all. People collect them, what they call bagging. Collect them like Pokemon. But me, I've never been that interested in trying to. Because it's restrictive, only wanting to do Munros, because there is so much more to Scotland than these Munros. There are other classified mountains such as Corbett's, Donald's, Hughes, Maryland's. Just the way people have decided to categorise them. But and the ones that aren't Munros are kind of seen as lesser, which is mad. Because some of the absolute best mountains in Scotland aren't Munros. And when you try and figure out, you know, the life you think you want, it's such a shame, I find, for folk who, not a shame, that's not the right word, and that's actually kind of being a bit condescending, but it's a bit, no, it isn't how I'd like to do it, you know, when folk just they study the thing at school, and do work experience or something like, and then they just decide, oh yeah, I'm going to do that for the rest of my life. Like I knew a young girl who done her work experience at a dentist, just working in a dentist office or whatever, and then she just thought, oh yeah, that's cool. No other jobs or anything, just the first thing. And she then went and went to uni to study dentistry and is now a dentist, and good on her. It doesn't mean the person isn't enjoying life, of course not, but maybe it's just me, but I just want to paint in different colours. Always have, and I think that's been a source of sadness and depression throughout my life. It's because I thought I wanted to be a specialist at so many things when it's actually the complete opposite of who I am. Being an expert is being one-dimensional, as far as I'm concerned, for me. I mean, obviously you need experts in the world. And again, it doesn't mean these people are unhappy. It just means, for me, I thought I had to be a specialist ultra-marathon runner. I thought I had to be a specialist guitarist. I thought I had to be a business guy. I'd read all these business books and about these people just hustling. Hustlepreneurs, I'd call them. Who think it's a badge of honour to work endlessly and to take your laptop on holiday with you to work, and to work on the beach while you're on holiday with your loved ones, and get a bloody grip. I say get a grip to me because I tried it all. I tried to be the constant hustle dude. And just, you know what, it worked, and I did make more money and I did get more. But I was depressed, man. I didn't like it. I need time, I need to wake up without an alarm every morning. I need to go to bed when I feel like I'm ready to go to bed. It's that thing when you try to be what you think you want to be, when I tried to get the life I thought I wanted, things were opposing, they were fighting against each other. And I'm telling myself I want to, I just want to be in charge of my time and just do this kind of thing and be able to relax and just, not relax, because actually I'm not a fan of relaxing, I mean my schedule to be relaxed, should I say. But yeah, I'm trying to get into all these things which involve absolutely decimating my free time. I mean, a number of years ago, I came up with this tech idea for a tech company, and I actually met some investor guys, and they were really interested, and I had some meetings with some, excuse me for not looking at you, I'm looking at my feet. I had some meetings with some investor dudes in San Francisco, and they were interested in possibly investing, and I was working out the schedule for the work I'd have to do to get this done, and to hire people, and to get, because I'm not technical, I'm just an ideas dude. And I realised there's not enough hours in the day. I would have to be one of those endlessly working hustlepreneur dudes, and that is just not me, man. That is just not me. So I remember the investment meeting was on the 8th of February. with them, the San Francisco mob, and I just ghosted them, man. I just wrapped up everything and just was like, nah, I'm out. And oh, the relief. And if I'd powered on, I could very well have made a lot of money, but it's in the wrong direction, you know. It's not for me. And you know, when I feel so sorry for folk when they're doing something that they trained for years ago and they're just not into it anymore. But of course I get that you can't just abandon everything. So I feel so honoured to have managed to sustain a life of being able to figure shit out and start again, etc. Oh no, I think someone's taken my wee stick from here. Sons of a guns. Remember I put the stick there? Oh well. Right, it's up to this mountain now. Oh, I should have hidden the stick. Should have hidden the stick. Okay, there's people behind me, so hopefully, ow yeah, dirty. Hopefully they're going where I were and not behind me. Yeah, I think they are. Because the chats we have are quite intimate, you know, quite personal. So to do it with people trailing 6 feet behind me wouldn't be so great. And I'm getting pictures and such. But you know, if you're watching this video with thoughts of, you know, you obviously want to take something away from it, I'd say just don't hang on if it's not you, because I guess that special something we're always looking for is who are we? Who am I? And when you're forcing yourself in certain directions, and getting there unnaturally, is it really who you are? I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of feeling it today, man. I've been on a wee adventure tour, hiking big hikes every day, and I've not been sleeping well in the tent, which I normally don't. Tents and sleeping mats and bags aren't made for tall people. So I'm a bit done in. I've also been out living out of a tent for a week. My diet's different as well, so that affects me. Basically had no vegetables, hardly any fruit, just, well, you know, the kind of stuff you eat when you're camping and you're out and about. You don't have your fridge with you. Plus, being that, as you can probably see, I've put on weight. I was doing well on a diet. Not really a diet, just cutting back, and I never cut back enough. And I fell off the wagon a wee bit. And I eat good stuff. I just ate too much of it. And I needed a month off running because I got an injury, and so I'm not at my peak fitness at the moment. My watch still says I have superior fitness, I'll have you know, but I know the difference. It's certainly been heavier, makes things like this much harder, especially when it's the fourth day in a row like this. There's someone coming up, so I won't be too loud. How you doing?
Did you come up the corner there?
Aye. Oh, are you coming in from
I come up
that direction? Aye.
that side.
Are you going down?
I'm going down.
You going down?
Uh-huh.
Aye, that's doable. Aye. Where are you parked?
I'm parked way down in Morecambe, way down the road. I legged the lift up in this morning. So.
All right. I'm sure you'll get a lift back if someone's leaving.
Aye, that's what I'm going to do.
Aye, it's definitely too harsh going back that way. Eh?
Aye.
Aye. Aye, just head down there. Have you got poles with you?
No, I haven't.
No, I forgot mine as well. It's pretty rough, but
I've never used poles before, but I think this is only my sixth one today.
right,
Done
nice.
a lot in the Lake District and back home, but I've never felt inclined to use poles, but I do now.
Aye, they definitely help. I think they take like 40% of the strain off your knees or something.
Yeah.
Actually, I found a stick I came up with and I put it down there, but someone's taken it. I put it at the weekend. It's worth, if you're here, you may as well go up there.
Oh, I'm going to go.
You're going to go up
there,
there, aye, because it's a lot easier than it looks.
Yeah.
It looks pretty harsh when you'll be up there in no time.
Well, I've seen you coming from there, and I don't think I travel at your pace, but
Aye.
thanks very much for
Well, have a good one. Oh, you can manage. Yeah. You too, see ya. There we go, you're the first guest on the Tartan Hiker show. Is this the Tartan Hiker show? Aye. We're almost at the summit of this mountain, which is called this, and I assume I've put the names of everything on. Again, I don't even bother checking because I wouldn't remember. And that's where the hill we came from. As I said to that guy, it looks pretty rough. It looks pretty. It looks like it would take ages and it's really hard, but well, you saw me do it, and it didn't, and wasn't. But again, I guess that's the thing. It's hard to gauge. You know, what is truly difficult for other people, because yeah, I'm not at peak fitness right now, but I am still very fit. So yeah, so you have to be aware when telling people things like, oh, it's easy. Yeah, it's easy for you, mate. So here we go, heading across to these two peaks. The life I thought I wanted also involved a ludicrous level of fitness as well. It really did. I thought, let me think. I mean, I've always, for so long should I say, tried to be like Olympic athlete fit. Well, maybe not that fit, but going for it. Or you could call it useless fit. Like, there's absolutely no need to be as fit as I've been in the past. Like when I was doing 100+ mile weeks, and you know, there was times where I'd go out and run a fast training run, and then I'd walk my dog for a couple of hours, and I'd go up and hike a few Monroes, and I'd come home and play football with my friend for a couple of hours. And you know, that was only a few years I was like that. That was literally one day playing football with my pal Gary. Well, and actually that day I went up the 3 mountains I'd done that day. Actually, I remember that one I'm talking about in particular. I went up in Arica, Benarnain, the Cobbler and Benim, and I took this picture with my dog Lola. I always love that picture. And it's one of them, as I spoke about in another video, when I went and explored that plane wreck. Here, this video, and I talk about there, well, I talk about now that I took certain pictures of her, or just take certain pictures, or take in certain moments. I've just become aware that I miss this when it's gone. I mean, you could say it is a bit kind of sad to go there, you know, I should just enjoy the moment, but I can't help it, man. It's just, maybe it's just part of being human and part of being well self-aware, you know. But here is a massive, massive cliff face on this mountain. Wow. Wow. I mean, fall off that, let's get another view. That is of course, unsurvivable. Oh my goodness. But the fitness thing, it was pointless levels of fitness. Trying to be like an athlete. For what? And I do want to get fitter, but you know, it's again about, you think you want these things, then you're like, why, man? Just always question things. That's what I'll say to you, just always question. I read this book once, and it was one of these old school self-help books which could have just been one sentence, as most self-development books are. It's like a thought, an idea, and I managed to stretch it out into a book. But I believe the book was called The Power of Why, and it was just talking about you're trying to figure something out, a direction to go or a decision to make. You ask why, and when you get that answer, you ask why again, and when you get that answer, you ask why again, and you realise that you dig more because you have to find an answer, and then you just peel back that onion and get closer to the real goal, the real thing you want. Okay, let's do that with why I wanted superhuman elite fitness. Okay, Why did I want that fitness? It's even hard getting the first answer, eh? I just want to feel capable, strong. Okay, why do you want to feel capable and strong? So people know that I'm capable and strong. Why do you want people to know you're capable and strong? Because it's a feather to my bow, isn't it? Why is it a feather to your bow? Because it means I can do something that they can't. Why do you want to do something they can't? Well, I want to stand out. Why do you want to stand out? Because I guess I've always felt largely unseen. Why do you think you've always been largely unseen? Because I'm quiet, shy, anxious. Why are you quiet, shy and anxious? Because I'm scared of talking up, of being seen in case I get hurt. Why are you scared of being hurt? Because I've been hurt a lot in my life. And there, it bloody works, man, and therein lies the answer. I wanted to achieve something epic so people could be impressed and not hurt me. Try it, man, try the why game. It really does work. We are way high above the Lost Valley now. We're heading to the top of this, the first peak of Bidyan Nambian. It's a strange juxtaposition of a desire to be seen, yet a desire to be left alone. I mean, that's one of the things that I still juggle. It's especially prevalent when I was, a content creator on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts and such. Because I wanted to be seen, but when I would be, I kind of wouldn't like it. And when people would notice me in the street, I wouldn't really like that either, but at the same time I would. Humans are weird things, aren't they? Almost there. I'll take you up there and then we'll go our separate ways. But you could do it again. Oh no, therapy session. Why did I like being seen yet not like being seen? Oh, that's not going to frame it right, is it? Why did I not like being seen when I had a certain level of fame as a short form creator? Why did I not like being seen in public? Because I felt vulnerable. I felt like I was like on show. Why didn't you like being on show if you post videos of yourself? Because I had the safety of the camera behind me, but now it's real life and people expect me to be the Tartan Hiker. Why is that a problem when you are the Tartan Hiker? Well, the kind of clown I created on Instagram and stuff, the super Scottish guy wearing a kilt jumping about trying to always be funny, isn't all me. I mean, yeah, it's a part of me, but it's not just who I am, and it is however what people I assumed expected of me. The loching over there, loching means like a wee lake or loch on a hill high up. So it's much better now that when I get recognised now as for people who watch me for long form. There was a guy the other day, and it was nice to just feel like I could just be more of myself. And I think because as well that my previous stuff were how-to hiking material, now I'm not telling anyone how or advising anyone how to do it, I'm just doing it. So definitely the life I thought I wanted was as just a general content creator, but no, the life I want is a long form content creator who can take his time and who doesn't feel like he has to perform when he meets people in the street or on the trail. Because people would come up to me like, "Oh, Tartan Hiker, you're hilarious, you're funny, put their arm around me and start jumping and all that, and they were coveting a version of a part of me, but not all of me, and I wasn't ready to always be on. Anyway, someone's coming, so I'm going to give them peace and film the views. The Y game, man, it never fails. Okay, we're on. Oof, my poor feet. That's why I wear these shoes for days like this. These are called approach shoes. So they've got a lot of protection, yet they're not big and bulky like boots. There's a lot of people up here, like that guy, and really thin trail runners, but wait a sec, I need to charge this mic, unfortunately. Give me a wee sec. I was still connected. It's the power of doing it in one take, people. Yeah. So, can you still hear me? So it's a battle between the camera, which is dying, and the mic, which is dying. Can we make it to the top of the mountain before these events occur? See, that's just, I was in a bit of overwhelm this morning getting ready to go. Just getting ready at camp and getting everything I needed, and that's why I'm silly and haven't brought a replacement fully charged mic, or charged my mic up from yesterday. But so of course, when I was short form creator talking about what we were on there, I'm talking about getting the version of you, the true organic version of you. I mean, it wasn't me when I was on social media. It wasn't the life I wanted. Whereas now I've got there naturally. And throughout the YouTube channels I've had in the past, trying to do other things and ignoring the one thing that I love the most, this. It's led me to the most natural thing. I'm privileged enough to say. A lot of boulders here. Which way do I go? I think I'll go this way. I think I made the wrong choice. Or perhaps just the wrong choice for doing it with one hand. And there we go. There's the more trodden path. Almost at the summit. Hope you can hear me okay. It is a privilege to find the real you. I think there's a lot of resentment out there for folk who are comfortable with who they are, who have found who they are. Do you ever feel or notice folk like that tend to get made fun of? Called hippies. They're called, as I say here, being up themselves because they're happy with who they are, because they're their genuine self. I'm talking even giving myself a hard time for not being as fit as I used to be. I've just hiked these two mountains. I was holding this heavy ass camera rig in one hand and talking the entire time, so I can't breathe right. So maybe that's why I feel not as fit as I usually am. I couldn't have picked a better day for it. Views wise, I could have picked a better day for it. Conditions wise, perfect hiking weather is cool with some cloud cover and no wind ideally, or maybe even no, actually depends on the season. If it's summer like now, you want a wee bit of wind to take the beasties away. But we're almost there, friends. Almost at the top of Biddy Nambean. Oh. Oh. Not even cutting out the nose blows. Oh. I like to get feet shots, but it's kind of hard when the sun's above me behind me rather. It just creates a shadow. See my shadow? Shadow. And to know if you've organically got, not you, I'm talking about me rather, because I don't know you, don't know what your goals are. For me, if I were to ask Paul 10 years ago, would he be happy with where I am now? Oh, he'd be ecstatic. And he wouldn't be ecstatic about things I may have. He'd be ecstatic about the lifestyle. It's like I say, happiness is finding a lifestyle that you enjoy and could live for the rest of your life. Paul at 20 would too. Paul at 20 and 30 would be moaning at me to go up these mountains faster. Be moaning at me to climb down the steepest ridges. But me now, you know, it's that way I thought. I used to think, oh, am I getting old because I don't do these big risks anymore, or because I'm happy to go slower? And I realised, no man, it's not that I'm getting old. It's that I've learned through experience. I'd rather take my time a bit more. I'm fitter. I'm fitter than Paul. You know, holistically, probably fitter than Paul has ever been. I mean, I was physically fitter during my ultramarathon days, but I wasn't strong. I was emaciated. I never worked out. I could run hundreds of miles, but I couldn't do a single push-up. So the lifestyle's for me. I'm going to miss you in the next part of this hill. Going across to the next peak, whatever it's called, and then coming back to get that glorious lemon Fanta. Let's face it, 2 lemon Fantas. That's why I bring my ice cooler in my car on hikes. God. That lemon Fanta afterward is probably even better than the hike itself. So when I'm like, I know I'm safe and I've got an hour maybe, I'll stop drinking. I'll savour the thirst. You know, my mouth will be dry as a chalkboard. Intentionally. And when I get to the car and have that Fanta, oh wee. We're almost there. Oh. Yes. That's the next peak, closer up. So we have to go to that peak first to go down and up. Oh wow. And like, over in the distance, it's the largest mountain in Britain, Ben Nevis. Oh. I'm sure you've heard of it. And it's nowhere near as fun a mountain as this one. Ben Nevis is boring as hell. Well, from the tourist path at least, if you come up the back via Carn Morgeric Arete, as it's called, then it's fun and dangerous. there's actually a second peak there. There's a guy at as always, I'm so appreciative when you come on these hikes with me, because it means I don't have to go by myself, you know. It means I've got a pal with me. I appreciate the people out there there's a lot of folk who just listen. They put me on in the background, which is cool, like a podcast, a podcast. So please do let me know if you do, or how you consume this. And please let me know if you watch this far. But as is classic, a sec, I'm going to have to unplug the mic, because this camera is trying to leave this mortal plane. I should have charged the mic enough. But yeah, as is classic when hiking Scottish mountains, you think you're at the top. Nope, that's the top. So I'll take you with me and I'll share one last wee bit of chat. I am soaking and I am super thirsty as well. But I've just been determined to stay ahead of the folk who are behind me so we can have this time to ourselves, you know. I do also appreciate that the sun's behind me, so my face is probably a bit blacked out. Some more of the pink stone here. This whole area in Glencoe used to be one massive volcano, a big super volcano, man. It's like all these mountains you can see. To think they were all part of the one thing, man, or the one mass. It's just unthinkable. That's scale and the passage of time, or the scale of time as well, are things which just frighten me, man. It's just, they're like it's too much to take in. Trying not to fall off a mountain while making sure the camera is capturing me. Right, I made it. Up that bit. Now the most dangerous part of mountaineering, if you can call this mountaineering or just hiking mountains, is tripping. Because when you think of people getting into trouble in the hills, you imagine them plummeting off the edge, but no, it's folk mostly just trip and break their crown. So you can see you could trip anywhere here and that would be it, very easily. There was a guy here, I don't know where he went. Oh. So we're at the actual summit is right there. Oh. You would not believe how far I am from my Fanta. look at the side of, actually I'll show you the next mountain in a wee minute, and I'll show you it now. Like, look at the side of this pink beauty that I'm going to be going up next. An absolute Goliath of a mound, man. And Glencoe really is a special place. But when you come to the car park for this place, it's actually just motorhomes staying there and people taking pictures, because there's actually very little people on the mountains themselves, you know, judging when you consider the amount of cars. Oh dang, someone's left their sunglasses up here. Don't know where that guy went. We'll see if he's up here. But we're almost there. Look. That's a shame. Ah, that's where you went. There are other peaks over here. Ah, damn. I'm going to have to go get them too. Well, I'm in for a very long, very exciting day out here in Glencoe. I've already got multiple peaks. And next, we're going here. And then, I guess, I'll be going here and over here. As always, it's my deepest pleasure to have you here, and of course my deepest honour as well, should one say. Let me set you up actually looking out at Ben Lomond, not Ben Lomond, Glencoe. There, we're more straight now, aren't we? You know you're always welcome here. I'm here every Saturday at 9 PM, forever, because I just love spending time with you. I always leave every adventure different than when I started it, when you're here. And I genuinely mean that. It's not that I'm just, you know, might be thinking, oh, but I'm not really there, but you know, but you are to me, and I can feel it, and it feels great to have someone here with me to talk about the life I thought I wanted. And you know, this is just the life I've always wanted, and I really hope you have or are en route to that, and that you'll do better than me at just than I did at not living in the future too much. You know, it's good to have goals, but not too far away, not too far in the distance. My next adventure, I'm headed off there. You can see that mountain in the distance. I'm going to be camping there and at the mountain across from it. I want to see them both from each side. It's going to be a good one. And if I made a video from it, you can join me. Check out here. I'm Paul McIntyre, the Tartan Hiker. Thanks so much for joining me for this adventure in Glencoe. I'll see you later. You'll never believe this. Remember those glasses? Here they are again. Exact same ones. Someone must have took them down and left them there for some reason.